Okay, everybody. This is the mini medi on recovering from being either a distorted empath, wounded empath, or just someone who is simply trying to have more firmer boundaries. Okay, so let's go. Dropping in, noticing the five senses, the quality of the air, the light, the space around you, whatever it is that you're sitting, standing, or lying down on. When's the last time you took a really deep inhale and exhale today? Most of us are not getting nearly enough oxygen or even really realizing that we use so little of our entire lung capacity. Yet it is oxygen that fuels more of our life force. So let's do that together. Let's take a big inhale. Holding it here. Exhaling with a little bit of sound. Good. So now notice the space around you. Find some objects around you, whether you might be on a walk listening to this, whatever you're sitting, standing, lying down. Find an object in front of you, behind you, to the left, to the right of you, and above and below you. This is essentially creating your own matrices, and you're orienting yourself in space-time. So many of our issues are because we're literally not in time. We don't know how to be in time. We don't know the preciousness of being in the present moment and what that actually means. The fact that that's the only thing that's really real. And what I will do is I will help you guys move further into your bodies in the 0 point by generating frequencies. Something that I actually ended up being able to do once I ended up kind of merging with my higher self. Before that, I was, reading people and tapping in and whatever else, but I just kind of always knew there was something else. And I just needed to clear a bit more to be able to expand my awareness, hold my resonance, live from a higher state of consciousness without having to leave my body. Once I was able to do that, and I was able to kind of understand deeper the advanced mechanics around space-time and render myself in multiple realities at the same time, I basically just merged my emotional body with my mental body. And that's how I live from a higher level order. And that's really where I started to learn. And then the generation of frequencies came in. I had always been doing it, but I really started to understand how to modulate it, like move the intensity up and down. So for you, that is what I'm doing on these meditations and in the podcast also, generating frequencies to help you shift. Good. So as that happens, because I work in the timeless, people who are listening to this meditation, you guys will start to kind of sync together, even though you're playing your individual song or you're at your individual resonance, you kind of will start to sing in chorus, a symphony, let's say, of harmonics will present. And then these patterns start to group. And then they show up on me and my body. And because I'm a mirror, they're essentially showing up on you. That's how the mechanics of that works. So let's work on the sternum. Just pay attention to this chest space, the sternum where the ribs come together. Just moving you even further here. A lot of curiosity about what does it really mean to have firmer boundaries? How exactly is Talie doing that? This is a general fear that you will let people down when you decide to actually stand up for yourself and have firmer boundaries. And by the way, you will let people down. That's okay. They'll get over it because you are no longer abandoning yourself to please other people. Okay? Good. So the brainstem, this information is really interesting, actually. This is a lot of like just old survivability information. A lot of empaths end up coming from a war pattern, and they end up becoming the fixer, the saver, the nurse, the caretaker. A lot of that caretaker mothering frequency with people who are really, really sensitive, who want to jump in and save everything, comes in this old survivability patterns that are in the brainstem. So let's clear these out. So you might hear me yawn. It's just how I transmute the energy. But what's happening now is a lot of sequencing is being kind of reoriented, and I'm working a lot more just in pure silence. So if you hear a nothingness and you feel a nothingness, that's really good. It means information's leaving and you're in a void. Okay, back to the upper chest and the throat space for me. This is at identity level. It's like, well, who am I now? Now what? Now what do I do? I've identified from this reference point for so long that I move this out, right? I no longer a reference from that. Then who am I? It's totally normal. So I'm just going to help you understand yourself from a higher perspective, remove more of this confusion at identity level, this fear, and a little bit of this residual like rescue caretaker pattern that's here. And then we're going to move into, looks like the solar plexus to help you. Oh, that makes sense. So kind of ramping up the personal empowerment. All right, so chest to the throat space for me first, then we'll go to the solar plexus. Okay, good. Let's ramp up personal empowerment in the solar plexus, all the way up to the throat. Just imagine there's a line. So the emotional body holds a lot of memory of all this. So just focus on your liver and the xiphoid process, that fleshy point at the base of the sternum and about 3 to 4 inches below. I'm going to just clear out the emotional body here, the pain body, with all this memory, and help you unlock the liver a little bit more so you can start processing out all of this repressed emotion. So this may look like many of you doing or feeling called to be more on your own, more isolated, more in nature, more self-nurturing, things like that, even more so than you already are. But it's different this time. It's more of an integration period for you. All right, you guys, take a big, deep breath in. Hold it. Let it out with some sound. All right, so this was just a mini medi on empath recovery. If you feel called to go deeper into these topics, check out the website superfreq.co. There's the upcoming Awakening series on creation, and of course the SuperFreqY yoga, which is all about entraining the frequency work and spirit work that we do, frequency level into the body. All right, you guys, I'll see you guys on another episode or meditation.